I think it's live. It says we're live. I feel live.
Ain't no way it's live. You didn't even do an intro.
It's a cold open. It's like, live from Pentlala. It's like Sunday morning.
The Irish hello instead of
the Irish hello. Hey, we're here. The relatives are here.
Well, hey, people, fellas,
folks, ladies, gentlemen. If there's any ladies in the chat, probably not, but could happen. Occasionally, we get one or two.
Jim says my audio sucks, so I want to hear from the chat. I hadn't used it since last Tuesday, so
y'all let everybody know how Joe's audio is.
And then on the Clubhouse, I don't talk much, so you don't get a good audio sample on the Clubhouse anyway. So
that's why I didn't tell you said it like you do for Clubhouse, because I thought you don't ever say anything. You just sit there and drink. Hell, Izzo talks enough for most of y'all.
45's calling me out on my haircut already.
Oh. Well, it was jarring. You don't even have your little buzz. You got the convict look or the biker look or something.
You should have seen it when the last time I went to headquarters and I popped in the secure access and they're like, "Who you?"
So has it been raining at your house all night?
I don't know. I slept all night.
Oh, it rained here. I slept, but I heard it raining when I got up the 4 times required in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but before I went to sleep, we had some more naders, possibly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I started to text you because they was kind of going that way, but I didn't think they would live. Yeah, we had some thunderstorms yesterday morning, and then the atmosphere regrouped and got its punch back together and waited for the second round. And we got some more last night.
We've had a lot of rain. We had 3/4 of an inch since midnight.
Yeah, I didn't look at the measurements. I keep forgetting I got a weather station display to look at.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at on my phone right now while I was doing this. I'm not texting during the middle of the show, y'all, so just calm down if you think that. I'm not doing that. But yeah, 3/4 of an inch since midnight. I don't know what we had yesterday. It rained some yesterday. And I was looking at the weather, and it's like every day this week we have showers and thunderstorms the entire week. Chavez has been a member for 2 months. Chavez, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. And he also dropped a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother Chavez. I appreciate it. Y'all pass the plate on, Chavez. Pass the plate. OMG, look who's awake this early in the morning on Sunday.
He must not even went to bed.
He might not have.
That's our guy.
Got a 40-pack of Miller Lite, and he's been at it all night.
For real. I'll tell you, these boys wanting to get to the Hamvention early in the morning, and Ape sitting there like poking me while I'm trying to sleep. Like, don't go to sleep, man. We won't leave till 9 or 10 o'clock. I thought he was going to pass me a Lone Bill Lincoln to stay late.
I don't think Ape is not a morning person, because we get up there and he's like, okay, what time are we leaving in the morning? I said, well, dude, we need to be out of here by like 6:30 or 7 at the latest. What?
He come unglued, man. The midlife crisis all of a sudden.
I think Ape is more of a late night kind of guy than an early morning kind of guy, and I feel bad for him. I go to sleep late and I wake up early. It's just, I think maybe it's because I'm an old man, but. And then Chuck, when we did the Saturday morning shows, of course, they're at 9 our time, which is 7 Chuck's time. And even now I'm like, okay, this is a little early to be doing a live stream, but Chuck was always made it on time. Jason, I don't know if Ape ever sleeps.
All right.
So since we're talking about the weather, I got a question to ask you, because you have quite an elaborate antenna set up at your house, and I've seen it. Oh, TC Fitz, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate it.
It looks like that one's addressed to me, Jim. So you got my PayPal?
The check is in the mail.
Don't mail it. Jeez, I thought we learned our lesson about
that. Yeah, apparently the mail between Pentlala, Alabama, and New Albany, Mississippi is, I don't know.
It don't have a good path. No good path. Propagation's bad.
It's terrible. Looks like night in Joe's shack. Joe's got the pimp lights on. He's rocking it.
Well,
So,
my new haircut, it kind of doesn't go with the overhead lights. So
ooh, that's almost as shiny as Chuck's, but you got a little bit of fuzz there. Chuck is just he's smooth like a cucumber up there.
I'll tell you, my brand new trimmers I got, man. I plugged them in and stepped away. They fell off the counter and busted. And they still work, but you gotta be careful with them.
So, what do you do? Because I know your weather's as crappy as ours most of the time.
Yeah.
I like to watch on Tuesday nights because I know what's going to happen to me Wednesday morning.
Right.
So
yeah,
do you,
it's usually happening on Tuesday nights, ain't it?
it always? So do you unplug all your antennas? What do you do for a storm?
I unplug the radios I care about, which includes the 7300 and 705. Everything else, like my Kenwood that's running my APR Digipeater, keep it going. Because if it blows, I got another Kenwood mobile I can throw up there.
Yeah.
I got some 2-meter spares, so I've got 2-meter radios. I don't remember where I put them. I got to find them. I got a Yaesu, something. Somebody mentioned something about it the other day, and I was like, took that out of a car, and I have no idea where I put it. It's probably under some junk. But yeah, as far as the antennas, go ahead, Jonathan.
Jonathan, thank you. Appreciate it. Jonathan had a DX Commander problem. We've already talked this morning. If he hadn't have figured out what it was so fast, I was going to bring him on the show and we're going to share his screen. He didn't know that. That's why I called him.
Yeah.
I was like, we can fix this live on the air, Jonathan.
Right. We can fix it, but there's a price.
Yep. We're going to ridicule your SWR live on the air, Jonathan. No. He managed to somehow, the connector on the bottom of his DX Commander, the wire came out. And he said, I just pushed it back in. I'm like, okay, if you pushed it back in, that is probably not optimal. You need to resolder that bad boy. And if it don't want to solder, then just get a new connector. Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of some of the guys in my old department. They had this little repeater box, right, that they could put in a mobile car, just throw in like in a Pelican case with a mag mount. And they're like, hey, this thing don't work. You can't get 200 feet from it. You can't hear it no more. So I said, let me take a look at it. First thing I do is look at the connector. And what can you do? You can pull the coax in and out of the connector. So I said, let me take this to the house. I'll bring it back tomorrow, and you can hear it for like 3 miles after that. Just need a little soldering.
I hate building coax. I hate it.
Yeah.
Because the problem is I bought some connectors here and I bought some connectors there, right? And they're all kind of a little different in the way you hook them up, right? And then is this for like RG213 or LMR 400, or is this for RG8X? Okay, what order do you put the collar on? Okay, I've got this on and soldered in place. Son of a biscuit, I forgot to put the collar on.
Yeah.
I hate, I can do it, I just hate doing it. I hate doing
Done that a few times. There for a little bit, I was mass producing some jumpers, like 1 foot or 3 foot jumpers, and selling those. And once I sold out, my problem was I wasn't very business oriented, so I would spend all my income, and then when it was time to get some more parts, I didn't have any more parts. And I think Jim's going to crap out, and it's going to be the Joe Brett show.
No, I'm here.
Your video's not. I mean, it's there, but it's like NASA in the 1960s sending back pictures.
Man, well, especially people laying in somewhere, because every time it rains, it happens.
And it very well could just be my end. It may not. I don't know.
The picture here is good either way. That's back to the disconnected radios, and then I want to hit Craig. No, Craig, I do not have insurance for the radios. I do. I have a disconnect, an antenna disconnect on the Flex, the Paradan disconnect.
Yeah.
So when the 12-volt power drops, the antenna disconnects. And then like you, on the radios I care about. And that's the only one. The rest of them,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good luck to you.
The Digipeda radio, it's not turned off. Go with God. And if power goes off, it'll be all right. The lie that it's on reboot, maybe not.
Yeah. That's I've wanted one of those to make life simple, just to flip a switch and disconnect the coax, but I never have done that. And them talking about insurance, I used to have insurance on my stuff.
Did you?
Yeah, I had it for a year and then I didn't pay it. But yeah, when I first started getting this ICOM equipment, I said, yeah, I'm going to insure it. So, but I don't have it now.
Well, I always wondered how. I mean, are they gonna? Oh, you have it. This is not officially grounded and sanctioned by the International Electrical Code, and you didn't use union electricians to put it in,
Right.
so we're not going to pay it out, kind of thing, or what? I don't know.
I don't remember what I had. It wasn't ARRL. It was some other ham radio insurance that was kind of popular, like right under ARRL. But the reviews and stuff, you know, they can make up reviews, but it seemed like it was a no hassle thing. I had to send them in pictures of my equipment.
Okay, well that makes sense.
You can insure the tower. I mean, or just like ARRL, I guess. Computers, software. But why are so many people calling CQ test on FTA? Well, because there's some kind of contest out there, but I hadn't looked it up.
I saw that last night. I was on FT8 last night, and I saw that, and I was like, okay, why did you put CQ test in there? That makes no sense.
Yeah, I went mobile for a little bit yesterday. Actually, went to some of the big stores, bypassed the DG, the Dollar General. Needed something more than what they had, but turned the HF on, and there was some kind of test on 10 meters. Look at that.
Well, I'm curious because it's like everything here is working fine. Well, there's your out.
Yeah, you just sucked all your upload out, so we'll wait for Jim's upload test to finish.
It should be fast enough, but it averaged 2.4. I swear it's water.
It could be. When I had my old cable internet, it was bad enough on its own, but when it rained, it definitely got bad.
I mean, nothing I can do, guys. I'm paying for a gig. It's raining.
Is that on a fiber connection? And there he goes. Well, hello. Welcome to the Joe Brett Show this morning. We're going to talk about Jim, and where is T.O. at, man? I don't want to talk about T.O.'s personal business without Jim. He's kind of the mediator on that. But that the internet's weird, man. I got the fiber, symmetrical up and down, and sometimes StreamYard's like same thing Jim was just showing. Well, except his upload was bad. But StreamYard would be like, hey, your signal sucks, and stuff starts cutting in and out. And I do a speed test, and it's like 900 up and down. So one of them things. Sam Weaver, good to see you, man. Ken, John, Rick's Ham Shack, W4TRI, Jason, KB1WSE. Now, while Jim's not here, I didn't see if any of y'all answered in the chat earlier, but does my audio suck? Is it off to y'all? You've heard me before a few times that I do talk. And Jim's just like, you sound like crap. And I'm like, come on, dude. I was jacking around with it, so it seems muffled, you say. That could just be me. Sometimes I hear myself talk sometimes on a recording, and my voice is a little muffled, especially in the morning. It's been a while since I've been on the YouTubes early in the morning. Chris Radio and Live. Sometimes I pick at fence. There's no telling. Jim got me jacking around. Jim sitting there, he trying to throw it on To like when his audio is bad sometimes because To is getting him to make adjustments, and I think Jim set me up. Hey Jim, how you doing, man?
Am I here? I don't even know.
Barely. You're here better than you was when you wasn't, but you're not any better than when you was.
It's terrible.
Get a hot spot off your phone or something, man.
Yeah, that if it drops again, I'm going to try that. But I sit on the carport to use phone. I don't know.
Ventriloquist.
I mean, again, yeah. So I'm getting 1.2 gig down, and it's throttling somewhere around 760K up to 12 meg now. So who knows? Wow.
Well, that's what I was telling him while you was gone. Is sometimes StreamYards will tell me your signal sucks, and I'll do a speed test like you did, and it's 900 up and down. Like it's showing it's okay.
It's weird. And
down the funnel he goes. We're gonna rant about the internet today. The robotic sounds of Jim.
I don't know if I'm here yet. I'm here again, still.
Barely, yeah. Chris says turn your camera quality down. I don't know if he can turn it down anymore.
Yeah.
You can't height swap the settings while you're live, can you?
No.
And there he goes again. Well, let's get this wide view here so you ain't just looking at my mug in full screen. I want to talk about today. Should we should do some Jim giveaways. Jim's always wanted to give away a flex, I think. If only he could hear us. He ain't live no more, that helps. Did I find my antenna, Ken? No, I did not. I did spend, those of you that seen the clubhouse Tuesday night, I spent a week in Alabama, and I'm going back again. And look, I was at this stop sign or red light or something at one point, and this UPS truck just pulls up right beside me. And I was like, I had to control myself because I was about to roll down the window and say, hey, got an antenna in there? I need to look in that truck. Good morning, Steve. I'm a guest in this show. I don't have the ability to click the comments on and off, so Steve's comment's going to get some recognition this morning. What do you use for an HF antenna? Well, if that question is directed to me, I don't know if he was directing it to anybody else on the screen here, but my primary HF antenna, Steve, is a 80-meter full wave loop that's in a square configuration. The feed point is a 4-to-1 and 1-to-1 combo balun from Palomar, whatever they call themselves. It's coax fed to the balun point at 30 feet on the tower, and then it goes around the yard and back in a square. Works pretty good. My other antenna is a Gap Titan DX vertical that I used for many, many years till I finally decided to put up the loop. I had several local friends here that put up some either 160 meter full wave loop or 80 meter loop, depending on how much space they had. And they was raving about it. And finally, I got the spool of wire out and put mine up. So how high is the loop? Well, that depends on where you're standing. 30 feet at the tower is pretty close to the highest point. Then it drops down because my ground is like this. It ain't flat. but going across the driveway is probably the lowest point, and it's I measured it to be about 13 feet off the ground. So that was a little iffy because you get these big trucks come in sometimes. So I thought about taping some orange wire, but I'll measure it every now and then. As long as it stays above 13 feet, that's what wires above the roads have to be. And I really expected to take that antenna up and down many, many times. And for testing purposes, get it all right. And uh, just so happens I put it up and it worked. And look at that. High quality.
Howdy. At least Verizon's working. But the cell phone isn't underwater apparently.
No, not too much. Not too much. You definitely more high definition.
Lord. So what did we talk about? What did I miss? How are you? What's up, everybody?
We was just talking about my antennas, and I was gonna. You keep going in and out on me. I wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. We're 20 minutes in, but where's To at? And I was browsing the To's, I guess, on an extended trip because it appears that he's going to be live from Australia later this evening. I don't know if you knew that, Jim. I wasn't going to call him out, but evidently 2 shows in one day is overscheduled. So
no, theoretically, I will be live from Australia in the morning as well.
Oh, was it in the morning? I thought it was showing like tonight.
I mean tonight. Well, it's morning in Hobart.
Yeah, his morning.
Okay. His morning. Yeah. No, I think TO is moving today, or I don't know. It's complicated TO things. And
you got a mobile home, you tend to move sometimes during the days.
Right.
Yeah, and he's got to plan his trips in between all the storms and stuff too. So
yes. Yeah.
You really got to look at wind speeds and thunderstorms and all that.
And as TO's mobile home doesn't even has wheels on it still, he's a little careful about where he parks it, I think.
Right. Oh, you've been talking about the storm. So where we bought our camper from, the big camper dealership not too far from the house, when the winds come through yesterday morning, well, I think it flipped over at least 3 that I saw and pushed a bunch of them into each other and all around the lot. Like, where's your wheel caulks at, man? Y'all got to be securing these things down. They just got them out there on the rollers, on the wheels, freely dealy. But yeah, I looked at the wife. I said, hey, they're gonna have some pretty good deals on some campers right now if you want to go down there. One of them was parked in the front lot, which means it was probably there for service. And it was one of those big boys, 5th wheel Imagines, looked brand new. Oh, it was a big one. Well, it laid on its side and the whole back wall was peeled off and flipped up, and you could see right into that thing.
I've seen. I would never own a trailer, maybe a motorhome. I'm totally out on, because it seems to me, from personal experience, if they roll over, it is not going to have a good day. It is
none of them going to have a good day.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Joe, your audio sounds 1,007% better now.
Yeah, well, the chat took a poll while you was out. We secretly voted that I sounded okay to them.
Apparently, it might be that computer.
I told you it was your daggone ears. I ain't going to cuss in Ham Church on a Sunday, but.
Well, apparently it's something with that mixer setup too. I got to reboot that thing. I don't know. I
did have a little like gain hiss in it, but I wasn't going to say nothing. I'm nicer than you are, but.
Yeah. But yes, you are. Yes, you are. Let's go with that.
Yeah, I got to rethinking though, since you invited me today. I usually talk about Alabama, how, y'all took the exact same shape of Mississippi and just mirrored it and called it Alabama, right? And just
right.
Roll Tide. And
What?
Well,
Watch your mouth.
well,
War Eagle.
instead of I like to take on new perspectives sometimes, and I like to see the good in things. And I got to reconsidering that, you know what, that's just Mississippi and Alabama decided they just had to have each other's back. So it's the states are just leaning on each other, got each
Right.
other's back.
That's right. That's right. And I just want all you people to appreciate I am outside. See?
And that's although it's 9:30 in the morning, that's still a feat because that's why this disappeared yesterday, because the heat and humidity of June decided to show up in Mississippi, and I was tired of it.
I was working on rebuilding my DX Commander Rapide yesterday. And of course, you can't do that inside because it's longer than the shop building, or almost as long as the shop building. So I've got it set up outside, laying across a couple of things so I don't have to kneel on the ground to get to it. Man, I had sweat rolling off my eyeballs and sweat rolling off my nose. I was dying because it is super, super, it's just really humid down here. Early in the year, it seems like to me, but
Yeah, and it just shows up out of nowhere.
yeah.
One day to feel great.
And our
There's
weather here has been a lot of rain, just a lot.
talking about some of the weather. Little 2 meter enhancement this morning. I noticed on the Digipeater. Got me an APRS packet 235 miles away.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And while we're at it, chat, you got to tell me, Jim did a great job there. I seen that thumbnail and I just started laughing sitting in my recliner. I may frame that. That's good.
I thought that looked just exactly like you. It didn't get me right, but
I don't know, man.
That looks like Joe Brett.
I can see when you're happy. I can see it.
I'm happy all the time. Y'all just don't know
back. See, now look, Jim's smiling. He's pretty happy. Got some teeth showing up top. Yeah, it looked pretty good, man. Looks pretty good.
So yeah, we've had. I heard some thunder now. It's just too much to hope that it might stop today. The antenna, the DX Commander, is still laying out where I was working on it across a trash can and a sawhorse out in the yard by the shop because it started raining when I was working on it.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, what a pain in the behind.
Set of focus. Anyway,
yeah.
Jim is right. Oh my God, there, and that's all going to you. So yeah, that's the thunder you're hearing.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Because we needed some more rain. Yeah, and guys are talking about that's why I don't live in the South. I mean, I grew up by Chicago, and it gets hot in Chicago. Not as long as it does down here, and it's probably not quite as humid as it is down here on a regular basis, but you guys have snow up north, and I do not miss snow at all.
Oh, you talking about north, not North Mississippi?
Yeah, not North Mississippi. No, I'm talking about north, up in the Big Ten.
Every now and then you lucky like we do here in North Mississippi and get a little dusting. And that's all it takes to shut down work and school, right? So.
Oh, yeah. And run out all the milk and bread and toilet paper at the Winn-Dixie. That's exactly right.
And what's fun now is where my office is now, that county has always done an excellent job at getting ahead of the snow or ice and treating the roads. And they're usually pretty clear roads when it hits. Problem is, my county don't. And I got quite a few miles to go through my county to get to the good county. So.
Doc, thank you for the super chat. I'm on my phone. I don't think I can highlight comments, but Doc said he was working on his Signature 9 build yesterday and he had to stop. He was stopped by storms. Yeah.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. I got like one wire to pull on it and then stand it up and connect it to the coax. And so far it's laying across a trash can and a sawhorse. I do miss having 4 seasons, 45 occasionally. I'd like spring to last longer than 3 or 4 days, and same for the fall. But
we have 4 seasons. They're just very sporadic, and they come and go and repeat. And
Right. Well, we'll have 3 or 4 falls.
Like our severe season, I don't remember lasting this long in quite many years. You get through the month of May, usually the last several years, that was it for severe weather, but
Yeah.
still rocking and rolling.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. This is June now, right? What is the
Yeah,
10th? The 8th, 9th,
the
10th, somewhere in
eighth,
there?
yeah,
And we're still fooling around with thunderstorms like it was May or March.
yeah. And
Or
then
March or April, I mean.
get down, it'll be freezing cold and around Halloween in October, and then Christmas comes around and it's back in the 60s and 70s.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And then about
70 on
February,
Christmas Day.
we'll get winter again the next year in February, right around our spring break when most people are thinking about the beach, and we're still in winter clothes.
You know, growing up on New Year's Day, typically we were on the river, skating, because the ice on the river was 1.5 feet thick.
Down at the river. Yeah. My granddad had a pond behind the house, and there was only one time in my life so far I remember that thing freezing thick enough to actually go sliding across it. Had a cousin lose a tooth on it. That was good, and then that bout cracked the ice. We had to start getting off of it. Yeah. Dang old tooth.
These guys would be out there with snowmobiles. I've seen a couple fools take a car out there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I thought it was bad with the snowmobile, but yeah, that was what we were doing on New Year's Day typically. Down here on New Year's Day, we're barbecuing in the backyard in shorts and a tank top.
Right. Yeah, I've seen some videos where folks take their vehicles and stuff out there on the frozen lakes and this and that. And you just kind of have to grow up with that trust, I think, because I couldn't go from Mississippi there and put any type of valuable stuff on top of that ice. It's the same reason I don't ride rides at the county fair, because I've seen how they're put together, and I don't have that trust factor.
I never thought about it when I was a kid, but you're right. As an adult now, I look back and went, you know, that guy with all them tattoos and the tank top, wife beater T-shirt, and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. That was your maintenance worker for the ride you were on.
Yeah,
The tilt-a-fling.
well, I never gave much thought to it, until
Right.
when I worked for the sheriff's office years ago, and we were able to do some extra security work or whatever. And you watch these folks roll in and put this equipment up in a matter of an hour or two, and they're turning the lights on, ready to take your money. There was one ride in particular, and like you go behind the ride, and chain link fence, the wire that chain link fence is made out of. I swear that's what this ride was being held up. It was what they call the ring of fire. It's just you go in a circle like a roller coaster. It goes just in a circle. And I'm sitting there watching this fence wire just getting pulled, and it's holding a turnbuckle to a cable, which is holding it to the trailer that it's on. And I'm like, that's not good. I guess it worked, but. And then the people that you see that go flying for 300 feet on the swings that go around, I don't do that.
Oh, yeah. The thing that you all walk inside, and I think that's the thing you're talking about, and you stand up, and then it starts spinning.
Oh, that's like the Gravitron.
Yeah, and then as it starts spinning, then it starts rotating up.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So the centrifugal force is the only thing holding you. And I thought, man, if the brakes
Probably
ever kick on this, people are going to die or get flung off into space.
That's the only thing holding the boats on, too, is the force. What do you call it? Centrifugal? How'd you say that?
Centrifugal.
Yeah. I don't use that kind of words in my work, so.
Centrifugal. The spinning force, Joe. Just go with spinning force.
Spinning force. Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
It's
So I got
when I gave my
the
presentation
other
at
day.
a new amp, huh?
Go ahead. Finish what you're going to say.
I was just going to say, it's my presentation I did at Hamvention, my little introduction. That's how I started it out. I said, look, I just want y'all to know I'm from Mississippi. I'm not an engineer or a developer. I'm from Mississippi, and I don't say words right. So We're gonna have a good time.
Right. How did you?
So what about the
Did,
amp?
well, I decided that I wanted a second amp to have in the house. So I've got the flex stuff is all out in the shop building, and so I wanted a second amp. So I started looking at amps, and I ended up with an RM Italy amp, which ended up going back to DX Engineering, which I talked about that last week, I think, and ended up one of the guys, and I don't know if he's in the chat, Tim Fowler, said, "Well, I've got a Mercury 3S, and they just notified me it's available, and my turn in line has come up, but I'm not going to get it because reasons. If you want my spot in line," and I said, "Well, I'll take that." So I have a Mercury 3S coming at some point because I had been on the wait list.
Yeah.
I just had gotten on the wait list for the light. So this is 1200 watts instead of 600 watts. Because I'm just going to use this in the house for whatever radios I've got hooked up in the house and play with or whatever. But anyway, so I'm kind of excited about that, and that's what the DX Commander Rapide is going to be. I'm hooking it back up to the inside instead of just using a Poseidon, so I can use some beans if I want to.
So how long was you on the wait list for the Mercury?
I had just put myself on the 3S, the 3 Lite wait list like a week and a half ago.
Okay.
Or a week ago, after I knew the RM Italy was not working out. And I said, well, I guess I'll get the Mercury Light, but that's going to be a while. And people are saying just a couple months to a year to who knows. So I thought, well, I don't want to wait that long, but I might as well get on the wait list and we'll see what happens. So I had just
Yeah.
put myself on it because the RM Italy got shipped back to DX Engineering. They refunded me on it because it was jacked up. But so anyway, so Tim
the light
Fowler,
is 600 watts, you said?
the light, yeah, the Mercury Light is 600 and
That's
it's
all you
battery operated.
Battery operated.
It runs on a 50-volt DC battery.
That's a hefty boy. That's like a solar power battery for your house.
They say e-bike batteries.
Okay.
Since I don't have an e-bike, I'm going to go with okay.
Okay.
So I had started looking at e-bike batteries, and in a way, I thought my first thought was a battery. Well, that's dumb. But then I started thinking about it, and it's like, no, it's not, because I can stick the battery under a desk. All I got to do is have a couple leads to hook a charger to it every so often. And what they were saying is you can run full power out of that amp on sideband 8 hours all day on a 25 amp hour e-bike battery,
I
which
beat
is
it.
which is probably 6.5 more hours SSB than I would do in a day,
Right.
typically. So I was like, okay, well, that's fine. So I hadn't bought an e-bike battery because at that point I was on the wait list and it could be months, right? Because what Mercury will do is they'll send you an email that said, okay, your spot's coming up. You need to send us money.
Right.
But either you can either pay for the full thing or you at least have to put down a $1,200 deposit. So I hadn't ordered an e-bike battery or anything. I was kind of scoping out battery choices and stuff, and a bunch of folks in the chat had offered some suggestions on batteries and whatnot. And then the thing came up last week, either on Nuggets or this show on Sunday morning. I don't remember which. I think it was on this show Sunday morning. One of the guys in the chat, Tim Fowler, said, "Hey, you can have my spot for a 3S." So I emailed, and he forwarded me that email. I talked to Tim, and he forwarded me that email he got from Mercury, and I replied to it with the email back to Mercury on Monday morning and said, "Hey, Tim said he didn't want his spot. Can I pay you now?" And they said, "Why, yes, you can." So,
Okay. Done hijacked it.
right.
Just like UPS. Took it.
But and I see the comments, guys. I cannot pin them in the web thing very easily, and I don't think, and Joe does not have the juice to do that,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I didn't come through that door.
But I looked at expert amps, and here's the reason I went with the Mercury. 2 or 3 primary reasons. Number one, Grumpy Don has a Mercury, and he loves it. And you know, Don don't like nothing. He hates DMR. He doesn't like digital modes. It's not real radio. But Grumpy Don likes his Mercury. And I trust Don because he's pretty smart. And then number two, when you start pricing these things, a 600 watt expert amp is about $3,200 to $3,500 or more. I've got a 1200 watt Mercury for 3,100. So about half the price of a lot of the other amps. And there's probably nothing wrong with expert amps or any of the other amps. I came down to price on that one. And I knew Don had a Mercury and he thought it was great. So
Well, I'll stick with my little Ameritron.
well, that
Keep
was my
turning
backup
knobs.
plan, was to get another tube amp or something, but I just really didn't want anything that damn big sitting on the desk again. That was honestly why.
Oh man, it takes up so much. I don't want to put it. I definitely don't want to put it down in the floor, and I have to reach over and down in the floor to adjust it.
Right.
It's got to be on the table, and it hurts my heart how much space that thing takes up.
That's, I mean, any number of people
Still
are
can't see
set.
it, but that whole corner is amp and
Is-
tuner.
Is amp and tuner.
Yeah.
I saw Joe Brett carrying that out of Huntsville all the way out into the parking lot in the Alabama heat.
I should have a screenshot saved of that. What's funny about that? If you'll go back, if you haven't, or if you have, if you'll go back and watch my video. What was that? Huntsville 22 or 23. Anyway,
22, I think. No. Yeah, 22.
it was 22 or 23. So
Yeah.
anyway, I realized after I bought this amplifier, and because that was my objective, I got up.
No, Doc.
I was waiting for the Mizras to get ready at the cabin, and I was sitting there with my cup of coffee, watching Coffee and Ham Radios live and scoping all the stuff out. And they done scoped out some of these amps that I was looking for, so I done knew exactly where they was at. So when I got to the facility there, I went straight to the amp, and that was all that was on my mind. Worked me a deal, got me a deal, started carrying it out. I got it to the car, and I come back, and I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't recorded like my intro of coming to the Hamfest. So if you'll pay attention to that video, there's some sweat rings on my shirt there, and I'm acting like I just now showed up. Completely transparent there with the video editing. I'd already been in and out once, but yeah, that was like a 3-mile hike with a 300-pound amplifier. That was bad.
300 pounds, really, Joe? Really?
It might as well be. You know, after so many watts, they say it doesn't matter. You know,
right.
the DVs. After so many pounds of amplifier carrying it in the humidity of Huntsville, it doesn't matter.
Exactly right.
But I never asked so many random strangers that I met on the way to the door if they had a dolly that I could borrow. And not a daggum one of them let me borrow their wagon or dolly.
Yeah. Well, that's your cardio and your endurance for the Hamfest, right?
Yep. And after that, I've got a collapsible 2-wheel dolly now that I keep on hand.
Yeah, I got a wagon, a collapsible wagon. I don't remember if I had it out. I think I did. And if I had bought that FT1000 you were trying to make me buy at Dayton, I would have gone and got the wagon and come back.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I used that for an excuse to not buy the radio when we were standing there.
I would have carried it 25 feet to your truck, but let's see, your truck was right there.
It was a good bit more than 25 feet, but yeah.
Times 2 or 3. After so many feet, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Ken Lewis, I got the wagon because I bring stuff in and out of the house, out to the shop and back and forth for videos or testing stuff or whatever. And I had to make 46 trips because I can't carry everything at one time. So I got the wagon. It was like $50 from Walmart, and it'll hold 300 or 400 pounds. So Yeah, that's what I use to schlep things between the house and the shop building. But it's also Garth, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't even think about it at that point.
Yep. 2022. Let's see. Here we go.
Garth carried that battery. I talked him into buying that battery of TOs.
All right.
Might see you. Have a good day.
We get past feeding the ducks here. Look at the sweat on the collar. I'm still about to die. That sweat coming off the forehead.
And the
Oh,
air
man.
conditioning in that building is not really awesome. I mean, it's better than outside, but it's not.
Dang. It was tough, man. Tough. Yeah, where we parked, some kind of parking garage. I don't know.
Oh, you parked downstairs. Yeah, I parked there last year. That's even better because it's in the
No,
safe
I'm
place.
parking garage that was up the street and down the road a little bit.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah. I think altogether round trip it was probably 3 miles. Well, it don't matter after so many feet.
Honestly, after the first 100 feet, it's like an endurance race or something, you know?
It don't matter what your decimals are after that. You're going
And
to
then
get hot.
that amp is what, 30, 40 pounds probably?
Probably, at least. I really expected it to be DOA, dead on arrival at the shack, because me trying to lug, they tell you take the tubes out before you even ship it because it'll break
Right.
the tubes and stuff. And it still had the tubes and everything in it. And I'm lugging this thing around and switching shoulders. And at one point, I even like banged it against the door or something. I threw it down in the trunk and went back.
Yeah. I bought it at Huntsville. Year before last, I guess, because I bought an Ameritron 811 at Huntsville. And the guy I bought it from, he had a cart. So I carted it out to my truck. And I used it for several months until I bought Garth's Flex stuff from him. And then I sold it to my buddy Lucas in Mississippi. Instead of shipping it, Lucas and I just met halfway and had barbecue, and he got an amp and sat there and shot the shit for probably 2 hours. But I didn't. I would have totally bought another Ameritron, right? Because several people have got used ones they're selling, and it amps just fine. But I just didn't want something that took up that much dang room
Yeah.
in the house. If it was out in the shop, I wouldn't have cared. But
Well, out
as
here,
much,
I'm in a 8x12 little building, so space is a little delicate. But I'm sitting there looking. Frequency Frontier says he takes the Uber from Montesano to the Hamfest.
Dave is,
He's a resourceful guy. But I'm sitting there thinking,
he
could you
drinks
imagine
his tea with his finger extended, right?
coming out with 600 pounds of ham equipment, loading into some guy's Uber? He's like, what the hell? Heck? Sorry.
You're gonna mess up my Camry, son. What are you doing?
Be back bumper dragging back into the park.
I wonder if they'd even want to pick you up if they saw, hey, can we strap this to your roof?
Get some tower sections.
Yeah. Where are you going? Up to Montesano.
Extra charge there.
Oh my God.
I need an Uber with a pickup and a trailer.
Yeah. Jeff, that was the other reason that was one of the other things is I wanted to get an amp that would run on 110. I'm not going to get 1200 watts out of this 3S in my office at this point because it's only 120 back there. At some point, I'll probably have a 240 circuit pulled when it's not 100 degrees in the attic, because I can do that. I got an electrician buddy who can wire it in the box for me. I can probably wire it in the box. I can get him to do it, and if he dies, that's fine. But I'm important.
Talking about power, let's go back real quick. Talking about battery, could you not get a 50-volt power supply like MFJ's 500 watt solid
I,
state.
I absolutely assume you can. Yeah, absolutely.
We looked at one of those at Hamvention. I seen you looking at it.
Yeah. And that would work too. It's a matter of less things plugged into power. So with the amp running on battery, that means it doesn't have to be plugged into a UPS, right? At all. And my computer UPS won't bitch that the amp is pulling too much current, which happens occasionally when I had the flex amp in here. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you could put it on a power supply. It's just one less thing to have plugged in. That's why I kind of thought the battery was a cool idea because, like I said, I would hook up the whatever connections I needed to charge it and leave a connector where I could get to it. And I would stick it under, there's a table in the corner of my office and it's kind of a dead space underneath there. There's plenty of room, but I'd shove the battery underneath there and run the wire up for the amp and be done with it.
Chat is just brilliant. I always enjoy the chat on lives, no matter what show it is. But so at the Coffee and Ham Radio's booth, I may borrow you a section of your table again, and I'm probably just going to stock up on some wagons and dollies and sell wagons and dollies at the show. I think. Oh no, I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to rent them out. Rent them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking.
If you don't bring it back, that finance charge is going to hit you, buddy.
There's a $100 security deposit on the wagon. Otherwise, it'll be $35 when you bring it back.
Right.
That's right. And you hit the credit card up before they leave for $100. So
get that prepayment, pre-authorization.
well,
See if you're good for it.
Security deposit. That's
Got to
right.
do that credit check. That's everything's going to financing, man. Like talking about that, it's just when I went to go buy my youngest son a car, we're looking for a cash car, right? And you go to these car lots, and I'm like, I'm looking for your cash car prices, and they're like, yeah, they don't do cash anymore. They jack the price up ×6 and finance them because they can repo them and sell them again.
Yep.
And I had a car lot owner that I know, and that's where the money's at. You don't make any money selling cash.
Yep.
So
well, they can make money from the crazy finance prices, and unfortunately, you get a lot of people that will do that, and that's part of what caused. I'm not saying they're innocent, and I don't want to get into a bunch of politics, but the 2008 financial crisis was from what we called subprime loans. And when you're doing something like that, you're making a subprime loan because I'm sure the interest rate on that was 25-30% or more for those we are the bank kind of car places.
yeah.
You're going to pay this insane interest rate. They're selling it for overpriced. They'll take anybody with a credit rating of breathing, right? Not
It won't be long. You'll be at the daggone boneyard at the Ham Fest, and you'll have a little sign that says 12 months same as cash. Take
right.
it out the door now. You can take this home today.
Well, now 12 months same as cash is a little different, but
If
yeah.
you can pay it off in 12 months.
Yeah.
The 13th month is when they make you cry a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'll make you cry. And Furniture Place has been doing that forever. Absolutely forever. Now I'll tell you, I will abuse people's financing terms. Absolutely. Oh, PayPal, you'll let me finance this for 12 months with no interest? Thank you very much. And then I pay it off in 4 or 5 months anyway.
Yeah.
Just to keep my cash flow going,
Right. You can still afford Cheetos and a Dr. Pepper.
That's I'm just saying. This ain't Maxwell House coffee I'm drinking here, son. This is the finest Guatemalan coffee available.
I hooked Jim up at the Hamvention. We went to the Kroger. This poor fella, I got me I got 3 6-packs of, I don't know what flavor I got. Pepsis or something, Coke Zeros, I don't know. Coke Zeros, yeah, that's what it was. And then you go next aisle over to the Dr. Peppers, they got the same deal. Then I get to reading on a little tag, you got to buy 2 to get the third free. So we got 3 6-packs apiece. we get to the register, and I'm like, "You ain't got no Kroger card. You ain't gonna get that discount, son." So I
So
scanned my Kroger card for her.
we don't have no. There's no Krogers here. I think there's Krogers up in Birmingham, maybe. I believe I've seen them up there, or Huntsville, but there's no Krogers down here in Montgomery. We have Publix, Winn-Dixie, and Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah. Well, I never would have had one, but there's one right down from my office. And the first time I went in there and tried to get me some sandwich meat, and the sandwich meat was gonna rung up $6, and the tag said $4. I told the lady, I said, "You can take this off," and she's like, "I said, this supposed to be $4, not 6." She said, "You got a Kroger card?" I said, "No." You got to have that card. You got to sell them your information to get that price.
Morning, Lee. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it.
Morning to you, Lee. I see you figured out how to pin the comments.
I did. Lee, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, man. It's a little, you've got to double tap it. And the problem is that most of the screen is us, and there's like, I can see 2 or 3 comment lines at a time. It's not optimal, but it works. Yeah, well, it's not really turning into Clubhouse. It's Ham Church with a visiting pastor. I know I'm pointing the wrong way because my hand.
It's a revival.
It's a revival. Brother Joe is from out of town, and he is here, and he would appreciate your love offerings this morning, our friends, my friends.
Yeah, it's a 1-day revival.
Right.
We ain't gonna go all week here.
Yeah. Pastor Joe.
I don't. Hey, Pastor Joe, that's a real dude. It's he used to participate a lot on the 100 Watts in a Wire little podcast show.
I remember that. I kind of listened to that. They had a YouTube channel too, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So. It kind of died off, I think.
Yeah, I think Christian, he was having some moving troubles and residential troubles and stuff, and just kind of weighing on him. So I think it kind of took a break, slacked off a little bit, but good community. Maybe they'll bounce back. Part of the reason I started YouTube.
I enjoy doing YouTube. In spite of what everyone in the chat may think, we ain't folding a lot of YouTube paper. I'm just saying.
No. You go to that Social Blade where it tells you your approximate earnings. I promise you, go to you look up my channel and what the lowest is. I think it's like $7 a month. That may be pretty accurate. Don't not the 100 or 200 a month that it says on the top range. I like doing this because I've always had fun with photography and video editing, just messing with stuff. So it's just another little side hobby that I enjoy.
Yeah, same here. And Jordan, I feel your pain. I've been there. I was a poor GI. Believe me, I bought a stereo. I rented a stereo for way more money than that thing was worth when I was a GI. Because outside of every Air Force base, at least when I was in the 80s, there was a rent-to-own place right out the back gate of every Air Force base on purpose. Been there, done that, son.
Yeah, I can tell you my first trying to get credit experience with no credit. My first wife decided she wanted a tanning bed, and she found one she liked for about $1,800, and you could finance it. So we go to sign up for the finance, and then they denied for lack of credit. And I got on the phone with them, and I'm like, well, I ain't got no credit. I don't know how do I need to prove myself, my worthiness to you? And they're like, we just went back and forth, and I kind of got ill about it. And how the heck you expect me to get any credit if you ain't going to give me no credit? So they ended up giving me $1,000 credit out of that 1,800, come up with the rest, but been downhill ever since.
Yes, Rick Air Force Base, Luke Air Force Base, outside of Phoenix. And a payday loan place. That's right. Listen, when I was married to my first wife, she who cannot be named, That's just so she doesn't ever appear. Listen, that was when I was active duty, and she looked like Barbara Mandrell. I mean, she's a ringer for Barbara Mandrell, and Barbara Mandrell. So should have been a good reason not to marry her, honestly. If she could find a check, we must have money. She would just write checks for stuff. And I mean, I don't know, a $75 pizza from Pizza Hut tastes about like a $20 pizza from Pizza Hut, if you get my drift. That woman was a disaster on multiple levels. So, yeah.
Sometimes we have to go through those.
Well,
It
she was the
makes us
cause of, I had a bankruptcy. We had to do a bankruptcy because of her.
makes
And the
it,
best thing I ever did was pay off the bankruptcy and unload her.
and the
So,
appreciation that you have for simple things nowadays. I mean, it's a hard lesson to buy, but
yeah.
you can buy appreciation the hard way.
Rick, exactly. Barbara Mandrell. And I'm talking 1980s Barbara Mandrell. Smoke show Barbara Mandrell looked just like her son. If I could find a picture. No, I can't. If I had a picture of her, I would know.
Now,
I all those pictures. That's right. Oh, y'all will take a check? I thought you wanted money. That's from a movie. What is that from? I've seen that in a movie. That's funny. Let's
yes.
see.
After my first divorce, it was like 2 years. I was still getting uh, collection notifications from credit cards and unpaid bills that I didn't know about. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, the bankruptcy with the witch came simultaneously with me unloading her, honestly. So the funny thing is I'm friends with her kids. I
Yeah.
mean, when I married her, I was 22. That was 86. I was 21. When I married her, she was 28 with 3 kids, 10, 5, and 3. So,
Uncle Jim.
and we just got married at the courthouse, right? It wasn't like a
Uh-huh.
real wedding or nothing. We got married at the courthouse, and the clerk asked the witch. I refused to say her name because she's like Beetlejuice. She might show up. And the clerk lady asked the witch how many times she'd been married, and she said 5. And I should have just walked away, but Barbara Mandrell, dang it.
Just doing what you had to do at the moment.
I like a challenge. What could I say?
You can only find the star button.
That was my Kobayashi Maru. So there's a Star Trek reference for you guys this morning. Lordy, lordy. Jordan, I would tell you an 891 is a good choice. So is an 857, honestly, because it gives you 2 meters. And 440, I think. I can't remember. I never do 440, so I'm not entirely sure. But you can find those around used. 857 probably a little cheaper. And the other option you have is remote ham radio. However, that can run you up some money if you're not careful with it. So it's an option. But we've all been there, buddy. We've all been there.
Mm-hmm. I've enjoyed my 891. Is that what I got from you?
Yes.
Yeah. It's been a pretty good radio. I forgot to mention the other night, Jason got the FTX at Hamvention. And, well, he got his Optima in that he actually ordered and was doing a POTA at Galveston. And I was his first contact on his new FTX Optima. And I meant to tell him, hey, that's cool because you were my first contact on 891. So, yeah, Scout nailed that one.
He did.
I can
Totally.
fix
I could fix her. I did not work. Did not work. Thousands of dollars and 6 long years later. I had to cut the cord on that finally. She was batshit crazy. Jeff, what? MRD sent his back to Yaesu?
I hadn't seen that video yet.
I
I've seen
saw
his
him.
install on the mobile.
Yeah, that's the last one I saw from him. That was just the other day.
Then went downhill from there, huh?
I guess. I don't know. I think the biggest thing, there's been a lot of controversy on that radio. And I'm sure it is a great radio because Yaesu doesn't make junk radios, honestly.
Yeah, they're pretty solid. Just got to figure out how to use them.
And I personally don't really understand the use case kind of the way they're doing it. I think the FTX1 by itself is directly a 705 competitor, and it's priced about the same. And if you're a Yaesu guy, Bob's your uncle, because Chuck ordered one the second he could put money somewhere. And
You
I
can't
just
operate a Yaesu radio because all you do is bitch about the menus every time.
that's Ape. That's Ape.
Or hierarchical menu structure is too complex.
That's like,
Oh yeah, there you go. I got to remember that Joe Brett takes audio clips and plays it back of things I say.
I got to catch up. I got to do some more research and fill my soundboard up with some more.
I think it's a beautiful radio. I think the FTX1 is a beautiful radio.
Oh yeah.
I think Yaesu might have missed the mark with officially no real separation cable on it, kind of thing.
Well, we wasn't gonna buy it anyway. We're still gonna use Ethernet cable.
Well, you can't. It's not an Ethernet cable.
If they made a cable, we can make a cable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I also am not sure, and I don't have one, so I'm speculating. Croc.
And if there's
you got
line
any-
loss, we can put boosters in it, right?
That's right. But I think also the way some of the other stuff connects, because I can't remember. How does the antenna connect if you hook the Optima piece on? Because if you're running just the FTX1, obviously you're going to have the antennas on the FTX1 head, the main radio-y piece with the screen. But if you hook in the Optima, are you carrying the antennas back or not? I don't understand how that works exactly, and that may be part of a problem with it. I'm not sure. So, and not a problem, just the way they did it. And I don't know, people were talking about the cost of it, and I don't think the cost is out of line, honestly. What is it, all in is around $1,800, I think, for that radio.
That was about $2,000 for that and the Optima.
Yeah, something like that. So, I mean, that's not terrible.
1,900 and some change or something.
Yeah. And I don't know.
Mike says too many.
I mean, if I did POTA, I would probably be interested in getting the FTX1 to use mobile kind of thing, or 705. I think Yaesu made better decisions on the battery setup than ICOM did on the 705. But I don't know. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. You don't have to like what I like, and vice versa, And it's like the Aurora. Flex has come out with the Aurora, which is the 500-watt built-in, all-in-one box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's around 6,200 for the base model, and goes up from there. And I'm not sure what all the different levels of Auroras are. I'm sure one has the screen built in, which is going to add about $1,500 anyway. But
They'll ever do a 12-year same as cash?
yeah, finance it like you finance a boat, right? For 20 years.
Yeah.
So, and everybody's like, well, that's pretty expensive. By the time you buy a Flex radio and an amp, you're already at that kind of money almost. So it's not, is it a little premium price? Yeah, but not that much when you consider what you're getting for it.
Yeah. All you do is plug it into the wall and go.
That's it. No external power supply, no separate amp. It takes up less desk space than Joe Brett's 811. So
disk space.
Disk
You
space.
nerd.
Indeed. But I don't know. And I'm not opposed to used radios. They're talking about used radios in the chat. I've had more than one. That's what's sitting on my desk right now is a 7200 that Baltimore Mike found at Hamvention and let me know about it first, so I snatched it from him.
7300 and 705 is the only two brand new radios in this shack that I operate. Everything else has been secondhand.
Oh yeah, my 857 is secondhand. My 7200 is secondhand. I finally got my Z-Bit X.
Yeah.
Dave KB5UTY sold me his, and I have another one coming that I'd already ordered. So I'm here to tell you guys today. I will announce it today.
Ooh.
I will be giving away.
I told you I was going to give away Flex.
No, I'm not giving away a Flex. No,
Sorry.
no.
I'll bet.
Joe Brett High. That is, pay no attention to that man. When I hit 10,000, I'm going to give away a Z-Bit X, brand new in the box. I didn't
You at
buy
now?
it. I've got a Z-Bit X. I bought
No.
Dave's.
You said you hit 10,000. 10,000 what? Subs?
Oh, when I hit 10,000 subs, we'll do a Z-Bit X giveaway. Yeah.
How many you at now?
85, 8,600, something like that.
The hell? How that many people like you?
I passed you a long time ago, old man.
Well, you started making videos. Yeah. And a lot of them.
You stopped making videos.
Mine are just more the it's like waiting for a good movie to come out. I mean, quality takes time, man.
Hamman said he can't wait that long. I don't know, dude. As long as the wait list is for getting the Z-Bit X, it may be that I'm faster than you getting it from Farhan. I don't know. I ordered one. I ordered a Z-Bit X online on a stream. I don't remember if it was this show or TO's or Coffee and Ham Radios. I ordered the Z-Bit X about a week and a half before Hamvention. And I thought it was going to be here while we were at Hamvention, because I got a shipping notice from FedEx and I didn't really understand who it was from, so I assumed it was the Z-Bit. Ape told me while we were in Dayton, Ape said he ordered his 8 weeks before Hamvention and it showed up. And I said, well, mine should be at home. Yeah, it wasn't. My Z-Bit X was not here. And while we're at Hamvention, we're at the 4 days in May thing on Thursday night.
Kind of hurts, doesn't it, Jim? When you're expecting something new that you're waiting for, come in the mail, and then find out it didn't show up.
Well, here's the thing. I thought it was here, right? So Thursday night, we're at 4 days in May. Farhan is sitting right across from us on the table across the aisle, and he has a stack of Z-Bit X's. And everybody at FDIM is carrying around their Z-Bit X's. Everybody carrying them around and buying them from Farhan. And he's selling them for $30 cheaper than I paid for the one I ordered a week before. And I'm like, ah. And I almost went over there and bought another one. And then I was going to just get on the computer when I got back to the house and email and say, cancel my order. Never mind. But I haven't done that. And then Dave decided he didn't like his. He's barely used it. So I bought Dave's from him. And I have another one coming at some point. So I think we'll do a giveaway when I hit 10,000. 10,000. Or I may randomly give it away on another stream. Who knows?
So a lot of Gmail accounts to open up to get you there, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. Y'all subscribe. If you're not subscribed, it'll make you happy. It'll straighten your spine. It'll cause your hair to grow back and your chest to fill out in a manly manner.
And it's free. No payments required.
That's right. 0 payments, same as cash. That's right. Well, Joe Brett, what have you got going on? I guess we need to wrap it up. We're at an hour and 15.
I ain't got a lot right now. Gonna come back to your state for another week and hang out there and look at some more UPS trucks and come back. Maybe after that, I can start diving into doing some videos, trying to work up a deal with a vendor I've never talked to before, see if they'll bite on anything. But I don't know. Just gonna hang out. I'll be here on Tuesday nights for that other show, and I'll be watching y'all's other shows, hanging out and chat.
Yeah, I try to. Tuesday night and Wednesday night are the only 2 nights I usually have off. So I try to watch your show for a while, but I also have other things to do, and it's like Aye.
It's always nice and warm feeling when we see Jim in the chat. So you're
Jeff
always
is
welcome.
Jeff is asking you about shirts there, buddy.
See, I got to do that too. So yeah, I got to get on that. I kind of started playing with some ideas, and then Jeff, I
See ya,
showed
Dave.
some ideas on the clubhouse last week or so, and everybody had a fit about me using the NASA and UPS logos and all that. So I got to come
Christopher,
up with
thank you.
something else.
Appreciate it.
$9.99. But wait, there's more. Time for brunch, Ham Man says. I could eat lunch a little early.
I had some jelly toast this morning. That's all I've had so
Jelly
far.
toast. I didn't have no bread to make no toast with, so I just ate me some eggs.
I had the breakfast of champions, raspberry jam on rye bread. Awesome. My wife hates rye bread. Hates it.
Jeff, yeah, all right. I'm going to try within the next 2 weeks to put out some new designs. That'll be my focus, and then I'll do an announcement. And Jeff and some other ones. I waited so late to put out Huntsville designs for the shirts that some of them arrived to their house as they was already at Huntsville, so they didn't get to wear them.
I'm guessing that's Side Boom since he just got down. I can't remember Side Boom's call, but I think that's right.
Just got down is the giveaway.
That's it. And it's a 5 call, which that sounds right also. He's putting together a shack for our Storm centers, I guess is what he means, not STEM. Storm Center's Ham Club sitting at $50K before shipping and tax.
STEM could be correct. School related.
Could be. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he didn't capitalize each letter STEM. That would have made it more obvious.
That would have been a giveaway, yeah. STEM. Lon said STEM. STEM at the school, Gene. Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm going to hit the button, Joe. I appreciate you being here. I have to check on T.O., make sure his wife ain't murdering him or nothing. She probably ain't, but.
She likes him a little bit. I see it every now and then.
Every now and then. All right, guys, y'all, thank you very much.
Bye.
73. See ya. I don't know how to cancel this thing from here.
Yes. It's a button. Double tap.